What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Banner Report podcast. We are coming to you live on October 8th, 2025. I am your host, Cody Adams. I'm with my co-host, Steve Crowley, and Jacob making his return back to the show. Jacob, we're glad you're feeling a lot better. We missed you, obviously. The crowd missed you and your elite analysis. Lots of stuff to talk about here as we move on into the beginning of the NBA season. But before we do that, Steve, do you have to ask me a question?
Where the fuck can they find us?
If you can find us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, all those, basically every streaming platform. TikTok is where we're doing banging numbers, all at the Banner Report or the Banner Report podcast, one of the two. Guys, I think basketball preseason starts tonight, right?
For the Celtics, yep.
For the Celtics, yep. It started already yesterday, right? No, anyhow. But the regular season is coming up here in 2 weeks. I think the first Celtics game is the 22nd.
I believe so.
Yeah, October 22nd. And I believe it's against the Knicks. No.
Open up back-to-back years against the Knicks, that'd be pretty funny.
No, maybe I got it. See, that's the thing. Maybe I got it mixed up from last year.
I mean, it's next week. We got to do our...
Oh, shit. Oh, no.
We got to do our superlatives. We got to get that out there.
For sure. That'll be a fun one.
For next week's episode?
Yeah.
Yes, that would be great. Yeah, so the season opens up October 22nd at home, I believe, against the Sixers.
Sixers.
It's going to be an interesting test game.
Two hobbled teams because they don't even have Embiid or Paul George. Actually, well, I don't know if we've heard of their official day one regular season, but they're not playing preseason. So,
oh yeah, I wouldn't play preseason.
Yeah,
imagine wasting the 40 games you get out of Joel Embiid and 10 of them are in preseason, or 5 of them are in preseason. Killer. Yeah, so we're kicking off the NBA season here. There is still a lot of off-season to be wrapped up here in this episode. Obviously, I want to start off on a bit of a lighter note. LeBron James, he announced on his Twitter, a second decision event, and it looked like a pre-recorded, like produced video, like how the original decision was back in 2009, 2010. So everybody's like, whoa, my initial thought was, what could this even be? Apparently, to other people, it was so obvious that it was a gimmick. It ended up being an ad for his partnership with Hennessy VSOP. And then you have guys like JJ Redick after the fallout from yesterday. That's when it dropped, calling people idiots, being like, I can't believe you thought he would retire, which I guess in hindsight, yeah, for sure. That makes sense. But JJ,
we know that's why he was doing it. We know exactly that's why he was doing it.
He knew he was garnering whatever marketing team in LeBron knew he was garnering extra views because it's like, well, it's a 41-year-old athlete. He's probably going to announce a retirement, or something of the ilk, maybe a trade me announcement or whatever. I don't even know what my mind raced because I think I'm just anxious I don't want the guy to retire. But guys, what do you got? I just did a lot of talking at you.
I thought it was funny. Everybody thought it was going to be a retirement announcement. So the prices for the 82nd game of the year against the Utah Jazz, the cheapest one you can get for like $445 now or something. It's like he's not going to play that fucking game.
Wow, that would be interesting though, because Kobe's last game was against the Jazz.
I was just about to say that when he was on the Lakers, obviously too, his whole career. That'd be a kind of crazy picture moment.
No, yeah, and LeBron hangs up another 60 burger.
Yeah, that he would probably. I know he'd do something crazy in his last game, but I mean, I remember this Snoop Dogg ad where he was like, "I'm quit smoking." He tweeted that and then let it sit for a week, and then just was like, but I meant like a stove. I have a smokeless stove ad. So I immediately thought about that. I was like, I know this is an ad. I had the Snoop Dogg trick in my brain.
Yeah, I mean, it's gimmicky for sure, but it's it's definitely purposeful by the marketing department and by LeBron. Steve, what about you?
What do you think that the price was that Hennessy paid him for that ad?
Oh,
Because like you know that Hennessy got
million.
more views on that fucking one video than probably all of their NBA ads all year last year.
I mean, what he probably did for Hennessy's like internet share of eyeballs or whatever clicks after that. I mean, like they probably should give him a portion of the company, you know, because of that. Because of that, like that, the monetary value of what he did is, I mean, could arguably shift it, you know, the end of year numbers for the company in a good way.
Do you know? Does he have his own like line now? Like I didn't watch the full video honestly. I just like obviously knew of what was going on. Like, but if he had his own line too, can you imagine like the online like potential there of like everyone would be posting that on NBA Twitter like every night, drinking that while you watch LeBron. Like that'd be the biggest home run.
I don't think it was his own brand of liquor though. I think it was just for their VSOP, which is lame because they should give LeBron, who like, you know, I guess he does have like a fairly strong relationship to alcohol throughout his career. Not that he's an official endorser of anything, but like his he loves wine. Like he openly says he loves wine. I believe he's a collector. So like, and cognac, expensive cognac, definitely has a lot of like, well, one, there's a sommelier culture around it, and it's definitely influenced. Like it has heavy wine overtones, in my opinion. So it's a little bit more sophisticated than whiskey. But I don't think it's his own brand, and I didn't like a gimmick. Well, I mean, whatever. The gimmick's fine. It's fine to me. I kind of didn't like being put over the barrel there because I just thought about, oh man, it's gonna suck. The Lakers team isn't gonna be that good. I don't think. At least there's no title chances this year, so it'd be really sad to see him go out on this team. And I just think about, you know, obviously I never want the guy to retire, but I want him to go out on top because I'm rooting for him. And so I got like upset that he was going to retire. And then for JJ Redick to be is there another coach who's like as unlikable as him right now in the NBA? I don't think so.
George Karl?
He's not. Is he a coach? He's not a coach
Not
anymore.
right now. I thought you meant. Yeah.
I think he died.
Fortunately, he's still alive.
No, like currently in the NBA now. He's doing it to himself, that's for sure. Like he definitely didn't have that, but he's just kind of trying. Now he's just trying to sound like so godly smart. Like anytime he's on the mic now, it kind of just seems pompous. But yeah, I know. I liked his pod back in the day, and like I JJ fan back in, like. But yeah, no, the stuff I hear now kind of irks me a bit. I'm like, stop it, man. Stop trying to impress us every time you talk.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing like a weird like superiority play. I don't know. He's not endearing himself to anybody outside of the LA and probably inside LA with his mic antics, because you have to win if you're going to be a dickhead like that, I think. And he hasn't won anything yet as a coach. So I was thinking like Tibbs maybe, like, but he's not even a coach anymore.
I don't think anybody hated Tibbs. I think people were just mad that he didn't substitute anybody. I don't think it was anything to do with him off the court.
I think his players probably don't love him.
Yeah, well, yeah, but some players absolutely, like Josh Hart would have fucking ran through a wall for him. Like Josh Hart loved him. Brunson loved him. Like a lot of those guys loved him.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel I think his coaching style definitely rubs people the wrong way. Maybe not, maybe in the league and maybe outside, but I think the guys will run through a wall for him. I don't think he's hateable.
But we're talking about like hateable by players, or we're talking about hateable by fans? Because like JJ Redick, I don't think he's hated by his players. I think he's been there long enough and had enough of a career in coaching to be hated by players by the way he coaches. But
what about like Monty Williams? He's out of the league because people didn't like him that much.
I thought Monty Williams was out of the league because he stunk.
Well, the players just started like seemingly revolting against him. It felt like in Phoenix, and then in like he kind of seemed like he lost the locker room in Detroit too.
No, Phoenix gave him the bag, and then he was not that great, and they cut him, and then he went to Detroit, and he was even fucking worse.
I feel like you see, because it's such a player-driven league, you see the coaches that players hate, and they're not in the league anymore, or had a really short run. You know, I mean, for all his foibles as a coach, Doc Rivers is like beloved by the league, and that's why he always finds himself in a job.
I think a little bit of that is He gets the title in 08 with the Celtics. He played in the league before that for a long time. Like, so
He
players
coached the
respect,
Magic before that.
yeah, the players respect him as like he was a former player. He's won a championship. I mean, he seems like the players love him, but I mean, like you look at like his playoff resume. It's like you got that one in 08, and then everything else has been a 3-1 blown lead, like basically every other year. So it's like, and some of
Those
the
Clippers
fucking
years hurt his resume.
some of the quotes that he has. Oh, you have to be up 3-1 to blow a 3-1 lead. It's like, yeah, that's not a fucking good thing, dude. I don't. That's Aaron Boone showing the fucking Yankees the fucking what 04 Red Sox coming back from down fucking 3-0. Like, what are we doing?
It's exactly like Aaron Boone right now as the Yankees manager. He is going to get another year with the team because he beat the Red Sox, even though he's getting swept out of the playoffs by another divisional rival the next round. There's no reason why the Yankees should be losing as badly as they are to the Blue Jays. Like I know the Blue Jays spend money on their roster for sure, but nobody spends. I think I wonder what the payrolls are. Yankees might be top 3 in terms of player payroll.
Yeah. It's so it Mets, them, and Dodgers, but the Dodgers are so skewed just because all like deferred, but they're up there. That's for sure.
The Dodgers have like somebody. I don't think it's going to be the current ownership, but because they'll probably sell a year or two before that bill comes due. Somebody is going to pay that bill. It's going to be ugly for a few years. But listen, they maybe compiled the best team in baseball history.
Could repeat this year. So it's worth it if you repeat, dude. Like the amount of money you probably bring in is crazy.
Absolutely. If the Celtics did this, where they're like every single year we're going well over the tax, and we're gonna suck in 2040, but like we're gonna win championships in the meantime. Of course, and I hope we do spend money like that next year.
I think money goes farther in the NBA or in baseball.
What do you mean? There's no limit to the money in baseball.
What do you think you can buy your team? You think you have a better chance of buying your team in baseball or the NBA?
The NBA.
I think it might be baseball.
Well, if we had no cap, but the cap is the differential because you can just stack forever in baseball technically, but that's like you have to do math in NBA, which sucks.
Well, I'm thinking like
you're
spend a shitload of money on your roster, but if a guy tweaks an ankle, you might lose a series. But if you spend a shitload of money on a baseball roster, like unless one of your aces blows his arm out in the 3rd game of the season, like you're pretty much gonna walk your way to the World Series.
Yeah, you can't buy pitching. That's really it. You can buy a lineup, but pitching is really like there have been Dodgers I think the Dodgers last year when they won the World Series, they had like 2 starting pitchers like literally remaining, and they weren't their aces, and they were kind of just doing bullpen. They'd have like bullpen wins in the World Series where they just pitch relievers. 3 relievers do like a few innings each, basically. So it's like, yeah, you can buy a stacked roster, but the pitching, like Garrett Cole didn't pitch once this year. It's crazy.
I mean,
like,
you say that. You say that, but the Red Sox pitching, especially the bullpen, is was pretty spotty all year. But we spent money on the best closer in baseball, and it made a huge difference. But
it was we didn't spend like best closer money though, because it was kind of like almost like because he's like freaking in his 40s, so we got him on a we got him on a deal when it comes to Chapman. But yeah, I agree.
We also did the same before Jansen.
You got to get lucky, basically, with the spending the money. You can spend like $100 million from pitching and have none of it be healthy in the playoffs. It happens a lot, honestly. Like DeGrom wasn't pitching when the Rangers won the World Series, but they bought their bats.
I mean,
Sox,
Kershaw. I'm sorry, Steve. What?
So in the Sox in their last title, Alex Cora, I remember, was fucking around with the bullpen a lot, and like David Price was coming in like the 7th inning, throwing an inning and a half, and he's got closers coming in early to get out of a jam so that he can.
Guys you bought though, the closer was fucking, what's his name there? Kimbrel, yeah. You bought that guy.
Cora did a lot of fucking around with the bullpen thing too. So
we had that classic awesome like demon, like the pit. This always happens with pitchers, like where they just like the if you have like a guy like Sale or Bumgarner or Randy Johnson, they're gonna come in to close a World Series game, which is always great, like because they just want it so bad. That was great that Sale closed the Dodgers one. It was awesome. That I love when that happens. That Price too, like seeing a starter pitcher come in relief for close in the playoffs gets me fired up.
So I always liked Bumgarner. Bumgarner was always one of my favorite pitchers. He was just fucking mean. I always liked that.
You love Bumgarner. Bumgarner, he was a dog. He was definitely a dog. You didn't want to piss that guy off.
On the mound, you got to have a fucking dog on the mound.
He's also,
and especially, go ahead.
I was gonna say he's arguably one of the better postseason pitchers ever. So he just had so many awesome moments. You just motherfuck and it never failed in the playoffs, at least that I remember.
I mean, shit, the last 10 years or last decade of baseball, you have the Kershaws or whatever who are even kill guys who will put up Cy Young numbers, but you also have two of the meanest pitchers in Scherzer. Not that Scherzer's a fucking psychopath. And Bumgarner, who if you fucking trip on your way to first base, he's screaming at you.
Yeah. Max,
cool stuff.
Max is not mean, but yeah, he's the type to if he has a bad inning to go and destroy everything in the dugout. He's not mean, but he's a absolute crazy man.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. But yeah, circling back. Yeah. Well, I guess that's it on the LeBron and Redick. Redick, be better on your interviews, dude. Or win a championship and then whatever, be however you want. But you don't get to be that yet. Specifically because LeBron knew what he was doing. And everybody knows what he was doing. Anyhow, there's a few big names in this upcoming 2025-2026 NBA season that I want to talk about. And this is coming off of ESPN's list. They gave a few that I didn't mention, like LeBron. Which I guess we could talk about in a roundabout way, but I think we all sort of know. The only person that doesn't know where LeBron's going to play basketball this season is LeBron. He honestly, he has to accept that he is a Laker because there's no real viable move other than for him to spite the Lakers. Yeah, well, no, there's no viable move for any of the teams to make a trade. It doesn't make a ton of basketball sense for the Cavs or whatever, or the Lakers. But he, unless he wants to go full burnt bridge and be I'm never playing for the Lakers again, trade me to anybody, he's going to be a Laker, but he wouldn't do that.
No, he's too smart with his image to do that, especially not at the end of his career like this.
Yeah, he doesn't need to. And his son's there too, which definitely helps the staying aspect, that's for sure. Unless he'd be in a package trade or something, but that definitely it'd be really awkward if he soiled his energy and all that with the team and then left and his son was left there, who kind of is there as a favor to him, it seems.
How fast would he would probably not make the season roster if LeBron got traded today. Yeah, he's getting cut before October 22nd.
No, they're going to keep him on the roster to play the preseason games, basically to eat minutes, so they don't have to play somebody else. And then they're going to cut him before the season starts.
Yeah,
or send him to the G League. He should be in the fucking G League, honestly.
Yeah, he'd be a very viable G League player. He's a decent end of second round pick at the moment, but in his year two, he should be in the G League. That's where they are.
That's what it's made for. It used to be called the D League. It used to be the development league.
Yeah,
that's what it's there for. But now guys are no, I'm not playing in the G League. Then you're never going to get good enough to play in the league. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, LeBron's on the list. That's about all we can really say about him. The most important person on this list, the list of players that will define this upcoming season, is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Tons of news stories. Shams is dropping reports that him and his agent are compiling a list of teams and possible scenario trades for him if the Bucks season starts off on the wrong foot. And then it comes out that the Knicks had an exclusive negotiation period with him with the team, him and the team this offseason to get a trade, and nothing came of it. Obviously, there's huge linkages to the Knicks with Giannis the past 2 seasons because he sort of fits a gap there in terms of talent and at the position. Is he better? He's better than Karl Anthony Towns. He just can't shoot as well as him.
He's better than everybody on that team.
He's better. He might be better than anybody in the league besides one person.
Yeah. When he's healthy, he's probably the second best player in the league when he's healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's literally 30, 12, and 6. It's insane.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I bump him down is because he hasn't been healthy the last 2 playoff runs. He keeps getting hurt in the playoffs, and that's when you really need to play.
those are freakish, though. A couple of freak injuries. He gets undercut and he lands on his tailbone. Not really much he could have done about that. Anyhow, also Bill Simmons was talking about it with somebody earlier, and it's Giannis he's 8-8 in the playoffs. I think a big thing for him is just like, get me in the show and let's get past the first round. If the Bucks can do that, which honestly in the East, not on there's a real chance there as constructed for them to do that. So that's his big motivator. He wants to play relevant basketball, and I don't blame him because he hasn't in the past few years. But in terms of, I think he probably won't go anywhere. Oh, also the other thing is that his wife moved to his whole family. His wife and his kids moved back to Athens permanently. Now they're going to, split time and go back and forth throughout the year. But that was also a little extra juicy layer added on this drama with Giannis. I mean, where do you want to take it? Do you think he's going to be a Buck forever? Do you think he's going to be traded? What happens if the Bucks go, they win like 5 games in the first month? What happens? What do you got?
I'd been thinking I was on team Giannis seems like a different breed. He's a loyal guy, but yeah, the future is so bleak there right now. That I don't think anyone would blame him if he'd want out. It seems like it's tough. I don't think we see him as a Buck for life, honestly, at this point, which is tough.
Really?
I do. I honestly, I like that. I love when the people are I love one franchise players, but I think, first of all, I think that's just kind of going away in general, but also just, I think with the Buck situation, he needs to get out of there, honestly.
I think he's going to go play for Olympiacos in Greece. I think that's why his family's moving there now. I think that he's just going to be like, fuck it. Let's go just take over the Greek league. Me and
my brothers.
Fucking funny that would be if it just got him, Alex, and Thanasis on the fucking Olympiacos, and they're just like, Giannis going to go average 65, 25, and 10 every night, and they're just going to walk through the league every year.
They're like the ball.
I mean, yeah.
Back in
he did that. He did it this offseason, like he did with the Greek Olympic, the Blues. So, it's interesting you say that, Jacob. I want to dive into exactly why you think he's going to. What chances would you put him out at leaving the Bucks? Do you think he makes it through this season, or what?
I think this season, yeah. I think he makes it through this season, and I just think it goes poorly, and it's just another year of him being Superman for not much results, and I just think it's gonna. I feel like if we hear this, and there's no way this year is gonna be better, honestly, there's no way.
What if the Bucks have a fairly decent year for them and make it to the first round, and I don't know, say they play the Sixers.
If they lose in the first round, he's gone.
What?
Unless he makes a second round, or they barely lose in the second round, I think anything less than that, he leaves.
Where do you think he goes?
Is he a free agent after this year, or does he still have to be traded?
No, he re-upped not too long ago.
So he'd have to be traded, so they're probably going to be the Knicks then. Because they already have a connection between the two of them talking.
What do the Knicks have to give the Bucks?
Karl Anthony Towns, a couple first-round picks, and
they don't have any first-round picks. They basically don't have a first-round pick for the next decade.
Give the ones they don't have. They need to make some trades anyways if they want to be relevant this year. So they're gonna have to go bring in some. I guess you give up Mikal Bridges, Karl Anthony Towns, and
you're gonna have to probably move 2 of them because you're the apron. There's no way you can afford all those salaries.
I think him and Karl Anthony Towns, I think their salary is actually very, very close.
Yeah, but like I said, the second apron, I don't think the Knicks team has to have a big year this year. Otherwise, it's going to be a failed experiment because they're going to have to start cutting ties with players, or they're going to, kill themselves under the second apron and not be able to improve their team if they fall short.
That's another thing that's going to go into where he goes is who has a bad year this year, who's desperate, who's willing to trade their entire farm system going forward. like all their picks.
Why would he want to go to a place where they're trading everybody to get him?
Well, if he's going to get traded, they're not going to just trade him someplace so that he can win and take nothing back. The Bucks still have to recoup something. He's still under contract.
I have one scary team, the Thunder, that fit that.
I was thinking that, like, why Chet and like the slew of picks and whatever other salaries you need to make it work, pair him with Shea. Oof.
Yeah, but like it's got to be a big deal like that. So like, it's the same problem you run into when you trade for a LeBron or a Kevin Durant. Like, you have to give up too much in the trade to be relevant, unless everything goes fucking perfectly. So if Giannis is going to be under contract with the Bucks next year, no, the Bucks aren't going to be like, oh, cool, you want to win? Yeah, here, go to the Knicks, and we'll take Josh Hart and OG Anunoby, and we'll be happy. Like, no, they're going to want Karl Anthony Towns and picks and OG or McHale. Like, they're going to want a lot for him because you have the second best player in the league, like we just talked about.
Yeah,
I mean Giannis is going to be fucked. If he wants to do this trade route, he's going to be fucked no matter where he goes because he's going to be starting over again in a new city. But I don't know, maybe he likes the ownership and that direction.
It's a team of Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, Giannis, and Mitchell Robinson beating anybody in the West over the next 3 years. You know, like you feel like you need another big piece.
Mm.
And I think you'd have to get rid of at least two to get.
You'd have to, yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's going to be the Knicks just because they already have the connection. They've already started talking about this.
Also, do you really want Cat if you're the Bucks? I don't want the Cat. I'm like, no, I'm going full rebuild here. I need like 100 picks and your best young guy. And the Knicks don't have that at all. There's not. I just don't think there's a realistic scenario, and that's probably why it hasn't happened yet, Steve. Because they had the exclusive negotiation window where both sides are like, we're getting enough of a return for Giannis. Giannis is going to go to a situation where he can actually compete, and the Knicks have enough assets to give it up for Giannis. Like the equation doesn't fundamentally work, in my opinion. And if any of them do it, or if it does go through, I think it's like a weird lose-lose. You know?
Is it like the Julius Randle trade to Minnesota for Karl Anthony Towns, or they both just was a horizontal move? Like,
no. I mean, maybe, yeah, maybe that's exactly what it is.
Like, you're getting a big step up from Karl Anthony Towns to Giannis, and you need a guy.
I feel like the Knicks got the better end of the deal on that Julius Randle one.
Probably in the end, yeah. It was looking suspect because they looked like they missed Dante more, but then like they kind of pieced it together there on the guard side. No, I mean, yeah. I hear you. That's why I'm scared of the Thunder though, because they have like 16 fucking picks. Like they could give 2 young guys because they have 1 million guys, and they could give 5 first-round picks pretty easily. Just scary. Really hope that doesn't happen.
So if the Jazz get AJ DeBanza next year, do you think, or they get the number 1 pick? We'll say that. Do you think that they give up the number 1 pick, Lauri Markkanen, Walker Kessler, and like 3 other first-round picks for Giannis?
Why would Giannis go there?
Giannis doesn't have a choice where he goes. We keep talking like Giannis has a choice. Like the Bucks don't want, like you just said, the Bucks don't want Karl Anthony Towns and OG Anunoby. They want young guys to build around. You get the number 1 pick. You get 3 other first-round picks. Lauri Markkanen's young, and so is Walker Kessler.
Is that even enough of a return? I don't think that's even enough of a return.
That was the question. That was more the question. It wasn't, why would Giannis want to go there? Giannis doesn't want to go anywhere except for Athens, Greece. That's why I think he's going to go play for Olympiacos next year. But
well, no, I think Giannis maybe does want to go somewhere else, but I think he's being pragmatic about it, being like, I want to go to a contender. I don't want you to trade me to a team with like young talent where I'm going to be, he has what, 6 or 7 years maybe at most, realistically.
She's got 3 or 4, I think. He's already 30.
Well, right. Like he's not going to want to be traded into another rebuild. I think the smartest choice, and I guess this is what I'm angling at, is for him to stay. And I mean, unless the Spurs come calling, stay, they got Damian Lillard's contracts off the books, I believe.
No,
the team has to pay it, but does that go against the cap?
Yes.
Are you sure?
100% sure. They have to pay $25 million out of their cap every year for the next 4 years, something like that, for a guy who doesn't play for you anymore. That's why that move
Really?
is so fucking wild. They just wave and stretched him is all they did.
They can't pay it in a lump sum like this season because I imagine they have some money to move. They can't pay it off this year. Interesting.
How it goes with that one.
I'm gonna have to look at. I guess that's would have probably been a good research topic. But anyhow, get Kyle Kuzma off the books. You are paying Miles Turner, which I guess is not a bad move at this point because he's now your second best player. And see who's available this offseason. And like I said, if the Rockets or the Spurs come knocking, and I'm not, then maybe or Thunder for that matter. I'm staying in Milwaukee and seeing if we can do a on the fly rebuild here or something.
And they've been trying to do an on the fly rebuild every year since they won the championship, and it's just been getting worse and worse. So I don't know if
the Lillard thing fucked them. It was a bad choice. They swung. It was a strikeout. But another name I thought, the Celtics. Are you saying no for Jaylen Brown and whatever young guys and whatever picks we have?
It depends if you think Jaylen's staying.
Yeah,
forever.
What do you mean?
I just mean if he stayed. Do you think he wants to play in for the Hawks at some point? That just weighs into the whole thinking about Giannis's time with Jaylen's. Obviously,
do you think Jaylen wants to stay through his prime here? If he wants to stay through his prime here, then no, you don't do it.
Yeah.
If you think Jaylen's willing to leave in the next 2 years, then yeah, you would do it. But also,
really, you wouldn't even trade that in for Giannis right now.
Not if Jaylen's going to stay, because I think Giannis is going to hit a cliff at some point.
But probably not in the next few years.
He's gotten hurt in the postseason. He's the way he plays is not a guy who's going to play into his late 30s and be efficient.
You're being awfully hard on Giannis. Giannis is not an injury prone player.
I don't think he's played more than 50-some games the last 2 years.
That can't be right.
He's in the 50s and 60s the last couple of years. He's not been that healthy. And also, I would rather have a younger player who fits in our system going forward that's willing to stay through his prime. Because his prime's going to last longer than Giannis's, I think. It's not going to be as high as Giannis's prime, but it's going to be longer and more sustainable.
But he's never going to be the player that Giannis is, which is a 34, 30, 12, and 7 player.
Which is fucking ridiculous. I know, it's absolutely unbelievable. I mean, if they said if they announced the trade tomorrow, yeah, I'm not going to be mad about it, but it also depends.
Steve, what was your last statement? What was your statement? How many games you said he plays a year?
He only played about 60 games, 55, 60 games the last couple of years, right?
I mean, so he played 67 last year. He played 73 the year before. 63, 67, 61, 63, 72, 75, 80, 80, 88. I mean, listen, 70 games of Giannis in the next 2 years. If you can get that, you don't push those chips in as a Celtics player. GM.
I mean, I'm not mad about it if it happens, but like you said, what are the Bucks going to get back out of this? Because our picks aren't going to be worth shit if we're going to pair up Giannis and Tatum together. Those picks are going to be at the end of the first round every year. We don't have anybody else's picks to give.
Jaylen Brown is the cash cow. You have young players to give him.
I thought Giannis was older, man.
He's 30,
Hugo
right?
Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're trading a guy who's 30, 12, and 7, and you're going to get back Jaylen Brown and Hugo Gonzalez, and you're going to be combing your pants over
that and fucking a million picks, yeah.
Yeah, the picks are all going to be end of the first round because that team now has Giannis and Jason Tatum on it.
Well, that's fine, but now you have the room to build around Jaylen. A younger superstar who apparently is going to have a prime that's extended longer than Giannis is currently.
It will be, but it's not going to get you a title, though, if that's what you're trying to build around. Jaylen Brown and Miles Turner don't get you a title.
I understand, but in the next 10 years, 10 years, they could. Well, I mean, obviously, if with the right free agent additions and you hit on your like, you're extending a competitive window because
You
you're getting a
definitely are.
top 30 guy
Yeah, you definitely are if you're the Bucks, but at the same
who's
time,
who's
you're not
4 years younger
extending
than Giannis.
with draft pick and draft capital.
You can't say that. You can't say like then draft picks are completely invaluable.
No, they're valuable if I can get one that's like outside of when Tatum and Giannis are gonna be playing together. Like
And
if
then
I
you build
40 fucking draft pick, that's great. But like in 2040, I don't know who's even gonna be left on my team. Like,
but Steve, you can flesh out you're going to have to flesh out your roster with guys who are solid bench guys, and you do that through the draft. You can't do it through free agency anymore. You just can't. I don't think with the aprons.
you gotta hope that you're getting better draft picks than what you're getting though. Like if you traded with the Thunder, if you traded Giannis to the Thunder and they gave you draft picks, their draft picks are owned by are based on other teams' records. They're not based on the Thunder's records. The Thunder are going to give you the fucking Utah Jazz's first round pick in 2028. They're not going to give you the Thunder's pick in 2028 because the Thunder's pick in 2028 is going to be the 30th pick because they're going to win the title.
I think this is you seem to be Giannis was like Giannis and the Bucks are going to do Giannis dirty. This is like your fundamental premise, and trade him to a team that he doesn't want to go to because they're bad. They're going to be bad when they get him for whatever they're giving up, and therefore the draft picks are more valuable. And I guess that's fair. I just don't think the Bucks are going to do that. I think there's a lot more value in having Giannis for 73 games in the next 4 seasons, and whatever you can do around him to get him to be competitive and improve the product is more valuable than trading Giannis for the picks and then hoping by 2040 you're back to where you are. Maybe you're lucky you get a Giannis player.
I'm with you. Keep Giannis. Like, there's no reason to trade him if you don't. He's already under contract. You don't trade him unless you're getting back a haul. But all I'm saying is that the Bucks don't need to like do anything special for Giannis. Like, I never assume that these organizations are going to do anything special for their players when they trade them. Like the Celtics didn't do anything for Pierce when they traded him. They said, "Oh, the Nets offered us fucking a shitload of picks. Go fucking rot in Brooklyn with KG because that team is not going to be good." And it wasn't. And then you watch Paul Pierce jump around a bunch of other teams and end up on the fucking Wizards at the end of his career. Like, he got them their only title since like the 60s. Like, the Bucks are in the same position.
I mean, fair. If you are operating on that premise, then yeah.
And also, maybe Bucks, to be honest, I don't think they're very happy with each other, the front office and them. I think we've seen in the media what's been said. Who knows what's being said behind closed doors? So I don't think that they're in any feelings towards, hey, I'm going to help him out after all the shit that he's putting us through right now.
Interesting. I don't know. That's an interesting assumption. I don't know if he feels that way.
It is. I mean, it would be really dumb to give up the guy's 30 that might have the best power forward of all time on lock. It's kind of crazy. He's like more accolades than all the previous like people that you'd say like in combination at least. And he's 30.
You got an MVP.
I mean, well, Steve thinks he's gonna hit a cliff before he's 34.
I think the cliff's probably come right around 33, 34.
That's like, I don't know. I just maybe I don't buy that myself. I don't know. I mean, if he's going to be the best power forward of all time, he can't be done by 34. He's not beating Hakeem in anything, if that's the case.
Well, yeah. I think that he's already got the accolades to almost be the best. The only guy I think that has more accolades than him is like Tim Duncan.
Yeah, with team-wise, that's for sure. He beats him individually, but yeah, that's not the championship, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Tim Duncan also never got a deep boy for some fucking reason. Like,
I mean, and Giannis's playoff record will be held against him. He's currently 500 at 8-8. Like, he's not,
playoff series, right? That's what you mean?
Sorry, yes, that's right. That's right.
It was 8-8. I mean, how the fuck
he won the finals. He played more than 8 games.
He does have a Hercules type chip though. It is a heavy chip. You can't.
Yeah, he does. And that also alleviates the burden of him ever leaving.
Yeah.
Nobody has to do anything. You already won. Like, he could be the next Dirk.
He had 50 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 blocks in Game 7.
Game 6.
Oh, Game 6. Yeah. Insane. And I feel like he had a lot of like moments too. It just wasn't like a big popular series because the Suns versus Bucks, but he had like 5 or 4 like insane top 20 finals plays. It felt like.
Yeah, he was unbelievable. Like, not all chips are weighed the same.
So I think you guys are leaning more towards Giannis is going to be a Buck this year and then probably gone somewhere else. I think Giannis, the more time passes, the more when negotiation windows open and close, and the more seasons we get removed from Giannis voicing his frustrations, which we all know about, the more I think he's staying. Anyhow, I don't know. I mean, obviously, if he gets traded to anybody, it'll be the biggest move in the sport. So yeah, I get why he's the number one important player.
I think it'll be bigger
number
than
2
going to Lakers.
I mean, in terms of basketball impact, yeah.
Yeah, definitely in terms of impact for sure.
I mean, legacy wise, no. Like LeBron's the greatest of all time. Like that's all.
No
that's
matter
always
what he
gonna be
does, it's always going to be number one, basically.
right.
You can decide, hey, I'm going to play for the Wizards next year, to be like, wow, this is amazing. Holy shit, LeBron's going to DC.
And we also know that like LeBron's not making anybody a contender. I don't think. But Giannis, wherever he goes, is making somebody who's like at least a playoff team. So
we see drags already, dude. If you just had like a non-trash lineup, I can't even imagine. We saw it actually.
Yeah. It does suck that he has like nobody. Yeah. You know, he, for all intents and purposes, the best power forward of all time. Definitely the best player in between LeBron and, well, maybe not. I don't know. One of the best players since LeBron in the league. So it sucks that he's wasting away in Milwaukee, but it's what it is. But speaking of guys, power forwards who are impacting the game, the next guy was Paolo Banchero. And the biggest question is, can he make the Magic a legit contender? Is he going to elevate his game to make the Magic for real? Because there's a nice amalgamation of talent on that team. Banchero possesses the ability to be a top 5 guy in the league, I think. He just needs to be able to shoot better. That's really the only improvement he can make on his game, I think. Like, his shot efficiency, his 3-point percent. Like, he hasn't even shot 2 threes a game, per game in his 3 years. So I think, especially, go ahead.
I was gonna say, to that point for the Magic, that's why I'm kind of scared and excited they got Bane, because them together, those guys progressing and then adding a reliable shooter like that, who kind of has been carrying the Grizzlies. I mean, other than Jaren Jackson, who's like pretty injured himself, but like on an offensive load basis, like that's some seasons of zero Ja, and they were somewhat floating around still, and like he's a pretty solid guy. It'll be really interesting. It's exactly what
top 10 3-point shooter in the league.
Yeah,
you know, on a team that was like the worst in the league at shooting the 3 ball. And that's part of Banchero's issue, obviously. So, you know, I mean, other than his 3-point percentage, what else could he improve to make the Magic for real?
I mean, I think that his life's going to be a lot easier next year if they're healthy. I mean, let's not forget the Magic are one of the most injured teams I've ever seen last year. You got 2 different guys tear abdominal muscles in the same like month.
Banchero being one of them.
Yeah, he missed 3 months of the year last year, and he came back and he still looked really good. So I think if that team stays healthy and you have Bane on it, I think that the floor opens up a lot for him. And I think that you're just going to see his efficiency skyrocket. Yep. The team's going to compete more than they did last year, but that's just based off of being healthy. I don't know if that's...
Well, no, it's also taking another step forward.
Yeah, he'll take a step forward for sure, but I think his step forward is going to come a lot because of them being healthy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, them
fair enough.
They survived last year, which is impressive.
Yeah. I mean, let's be real here. How easy was the team? They were such an easy team to guard because it was like, all right, just get the ball out of Banchero's hands, basically. And
he still cooked.
Somebody else, and he still went and got his. So, like, imagine if like the game plan isn't get it out of his hands. Imagine if you can't send a second guy at him. Like,
yeah,
he's gonna have a fucking monster year.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They could have Suggs in the playoffs next year. Like it could look much different. And then they added Bane. Yeah, like the fact that they like stayed in the middle tier of the playoffs with all those injuries kind of made me. Yeah, I was taken aback. I was like, okay, all right, they have a real solid bunch, because to do that you have to pull from like a lot of good coaching and a lot of the bench and a lot of the pipeline. Like that Goga guy just came. Like that's what teams do when they have a good system. They like find gems because they've drafted well and they're developing well. And when people get injured, you still make the playoffs. And I was like, okay, it's like the Pistons too. Like, they didn't have Ivy all last year. These young teams that are still doing it, those are the ones that are really, really scary coming up. Because like you're saying, Steve, like they're one healthy season away from like the Rockets last year, I'd say.
Absolutely.
Magic absolutely could be our version of the Rockets. Like they kind of feel like the same energy.
Yeah. Absolutely. The Magic are going to be real Eastern Conference, contenders this year, I think, specifically, because the Celtics are out and the Pacers are out.
And the Sixers.
The East next year is going to be so crazy. Like if you think about it, like Tyrese coming back, Tatum coming back, Cade's going to be another year better. Paolo's going to be another year better. Wherever Giannis ends up, talent. I mean, wherever Giannis ends up, like
the Wizards will probably be competent by then. Oh, who knows?
I wouldn't bet even the last fucking penny on that one.
Actually, I don't. I think the Wizards are sneaky. Like, like if you're really down on the Eastern's talent this year, I think the Wizards their total wins over is a lock of a bet. Because there's like sneaky kind of deep in terms of like NBA talent. It's just like can a star emerge? Who knows?
Yeah. They got like a lot of solid young guys and kind of a few vets. Yeah, I agree. Like they're not going to be a tough. They're going to be a tough. If they have people healthy, they'll be a tough win. That's for damn sure. We probably, if you looked at our roster side to side right now, I'd honestly think theirs look better without Tatum. They were kind of crazy.
Yeah. But speaking of a weak East, the next guy was Mike Brown, the head coach of the New York Knicks. Obviously a huge storyline in terms of contenders and shuffling at the top here. The Knicks, obviously, they're a bit roster locked. They added a bunch of depth this year, which will benefit them in the long run, and another year of gelling. And Mike Brown, I think he's an offensive guy. Like he did the beam. He made the light the beam Sabonis and Fox Kings relevant for the first time maybe ever. So maybe he can provide a little bit of that offensive efficiency in a team that sort of struggled with it last year, especially in the playoffs. But who knows? What do you guys think, Mike Brown?
I mean, I think it's kind of a horizontal move. I mean, like you said, they were kind of roster locked. Like their deficiencies that they had last year are going to be the same ones they have this year. I mean, I guess they're going to be they might be a little bit less tired because Mike Brown probably substitutes more than Tom Thibodeau, which is a pretty low bar. But I mean, how did you think that Mike Brown is that much better of a coach than Tom Thibodeau? I mean, I think that they're pretty much on the same level. I think it was more the Knicks were mad that they didn't make the finals and they just wanted to do something.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the only other thing you could do is improve your top tier talent. Like we said, that's really hard to do, especially under the second apron. They fleshed out their bench. I think the team is slightly better, just 1 through 15.
Yeah, they got
added guys like they got Yabu Brogdon, Garrison Matthews. They got a few guys who have been in the league a bit. So
Jordan
Clarkson, yep.
And Brown will actually use him.
I don't know. I just feel like maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I feel like the Knicks offenses get stagnant.
It does.
And I think, Mike Brown he's the type of guy who I imagine could, bring a breath of fresh air into a stagnant offense. Especially now that the roster's a bit deeper. I don't know. He's going up against a tough metric. It's either championship or bust, because the window is going to slam shut at some point here for the Knicks. So he's going to need all the help he can get.
Yeah, unless they get really unlucky injury wise, there's going to be no excuses to not make the finals this year too.
Yep,
that's for sure.
Well, yeah, with the way the East is, it's like your only competition is going to be Cleveland, and Cleveland's a paper tiger every fucking year.
They both basically in the same.
Yeah,
They're both in the same spot of like making the later rounds and never getting there. And now all the people that usually beat them are gone. So they're both like,
yeah, there's no excuse.
Are we the top dog now? Like what? Who's the top dog now?
Yeah. So interesting. Mike, it's going to be interesting to see how the Knicks come out at the beginning of the year. But De'Aaron Fox was the next name on the list, and I get, pretty huge. I guess he was one of the bigger names in the free agency to at least re-sign with the team. Can he make Wemby into? Can he basically be Tony Parker to Timmy D? That's a big question. But he's going to be competing for minutes with the other guards they've drafted. So,
I mean, it's crazy. I heard like him and Wemby only played 5 games together last year. So you didn't really have a choice but to re-sign him because you made the trade for him. It's like, hey, we have to see how this looks. So I think that he could. I mean, look, I don't know who they drafted for guards.
Dylan Harper.
I don't think that he's
second overall pick.
I don't think he's gonna have too hard of a time beating out him for minutes. De'Aaron Fox is already established in the league as a 20-point a game scorer who can run an offense. I mean, he was getting 20 points a game efficiently on a Kings team where it was like, who the hell else is going to score the ball? Sabonis, like. So I mean, him and Wemby, I think is going to be a great combo. I think the combination of his speed coming off of screens and really putting pressure on the defense is going to open up so much for Wemby. Like, they're going to have to. Like, there's not a big that's quick enough to keep up with De'Aaron Fox. And there's not a guard that's strong enough and big enough to cover Wemby if he gets it on a switch. So I think that this could be a big year for Wemby and De'Aaron.
Yeah, for sure. But I feel like the question, Steve, with with all these the players involved in the Spurs drama, is just how many games is Wemby going to play? Is he going to make it through a full year? And if that's the case, then yeah, the Spurs are going to be a problem. Just because they have, on 1 through 12, 1 through 9, 1 through 12, they're like fairly deep with talent. And De'Aaron Fox is the number 2 honcho on that team, I think. Yeah, he's the number 2. So he's going to have to learn to play. They only played 5 games last year, like you said. They're going to have to learn to play together and go up against a really tough West. So I feel like it's more. And if everything goes according to plan, I think the Spurs are going to be for real. So
I hope. We can all hope.
Who knows?
Banchero will be healthy. And they're being a crazy team in transition, that's for sure. The transition offense and transition defense, that's hilarious. Like new type of highlight is Wemby on the defensive transition 1v3, but no one wants to shoot it type of highlight. Or it's hilarious. Like, I don't think that's ever existed. It's a new thing.
Wemby's listed now at 7'5".
Yeah.
He also looks like if he's not wider, he looks like his frame's stronger. He's not so giraffe-y. He's got kind of like a frame. He looks like he's putting a ton of work this offseason.
I agree.
So
it's impossible.
And also, like, don't forget, he was drafted at 19. Like, you're still growing muscle. You're still like growing into your body at 19 years old. So he's gonna get stronger as it goes.
Yeah. So I mean, he could be potentially the youngest MVP in NBA history, right? So that's what they're saying if he wins it this year.
Look at look at Giannis at a young age.
Yeah,
he's a titan.
Giannis had a jumper at a young age too. If you go back and watch the highlights, like, he had a nice 3-ball and it's fucking gone. Thank God it's gone.
I feel like he got too strong.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. If he kept that 3-ball, like, Jesus Christ, he might be 38 a game. Like,
yeah.
Y'all gonna be thinking for that in the East.
I might have different views on his longevity if he kept that 3-ball.
True. But speaking of longevity, Kawhi Leonard, that was the next name on the list. Obviously, who knows? The aspiration scandal has to shake out. We're going anywhere from his contract could get voided to a suspension to whatever. So it's going to be how that investigation shakes out and what Silver wants to levy as a punishment. So, and then on top of that, it's, can you get him for a full year? So if Kawhi Leonard's healthy and everything shakes right, the Clippers could be for real. I think straight up.
A very deep team over there.
Savvy vets all over the place.
You got John Collins too. Like they did up the team a bit too. They lost Norm, but kind of filling a need in John, that's for sure. Zubac seems like he's only getting better, which is kind of a late prime, which is cool. But yeah, no.
Yeah.
Still got Jimbo.
That's the scariest part.
I don't know. I think Kawhi's health is the scariest part.
Yeah.
I think with Harden, you know what you're getting at this point. And I guess with Kawhi, you know what you're getting, but whatever. The next name on the list, Amen.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, a pure capitalist. Amen Thompson, he's the next name on the list. Can he elevate himself to be the lead ball handler on a championship team? It's a lot to ask of a guy who's, 21, 22? Like, Fred VanVleet went down, and the veteran ball handling presence is gone. So he's going to have to take a step forward.
I think that going to play a lot out of the post. Like it's going to be a lot of Sengun post ups, a lot of simple pick and roll, simple reads. Like don't put too much pressure on these guys to try and read three things at once. Make the simple play. If it's not there, back it out. Give it to Kevin Durant or Alperen Sengun.
Yeah,
I think a lot.
I think we see a lot of KD playmaking this year. That's for sure, more than ever, because he's definitely got to be up there in levels of passing on that team. That's for sure, and ability and just everything when it comes to that. So maybe we see him in more like Tatum role next year for the offense, like where he's like technically won't take up the ball every time, but seems like the offense is running through him and like the high post and all that. Like you know what I mean. Like I think he'll be more of a point forward next year.
That's a good point.
Interesting. I mean, a lot of talent. They didn't bring KD in to have it to be a grow year. They brought him in to be at the end, hosting up to Larry O'Brien. So there's a lot of pressure being put on young guys, and Amen Thompson's the premier guy. Besides, Şengün's gonna have a lot of pressure on him too, like Steve said. I think they could be accurate running out of the post, and also because how well he played in the Euro tournament. Yeah. So those are the names. I mean, Adam Silver was another name, but I think we're all just don't fuck up the product more, dude. Please.
Yeah. We love you, Hudson. We always have loved you.
Also hire me.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever. Moving on. NFL Week 5 review. How about them Patriots, son?
That was awesome.
Going to Buffalo and beat Josh Allen and the Bills 23-20. I mean, wow. Who had Drake May outdueling Josh Allen?
Yeah.
Is he that guy?
He's not Drake Maybe anymore.
Yeah, he's that guy.
Drake Maybe is already gone. It only lasted 1 week.
Drake fucking definitely, dude. That guy is badass.
I love when he rolls out to the right and he gets to look downfield. Like, oh man, like
he delivers the ball with such precision.
When he has time and space, he can be that guy. The only thing that ever worries me about him is when the pocket starts collapsing on him, and it's like, all right, are you gonna try and force something? Are you gonna turtle and shell up here? Like,
he has a hard time. He's one of the best rollout quarterbacks in the league already. Like when he rolls out, he's getting 5 to 10 yards minimum. The thing is that when the pocket breaks down on the outside, he has a real hard time finding any types of gaps in the middle. He can't do it. He just goes straight down. And also he gets his, he's liable to get his noggin rocked with some of the hits he takes.
A lot too.
We dealt with that last year.
True. Yeah. I mean, he's already banged his head this year. And probably was concussed against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But yeah, man, I mean, some of those throws, especially down the end there where he was getting sacked on his way down, he's like almost horizontal with the ground. He throws it off for it was just like everything you'd want to see out of a guy you think is probably going to be a top 5 guy and somewhere in the near future of the NFL at the position. I mean, yeah, Stephon Diggs played with the biggest chip on his shoulder, and it showed. 10 catches, 146 yards, always open, made huge plays. Feels like this Patriots team is sort of, for as young and no named as some of the roster is, no household names really on the team besides maybe Steph Diggs and Gonzo and Drake May. They're like in every game. They're going to be a tough out and basically the way they're going to hurt themselves. That's how they lose the game. So they're one of the I think they're one of the better teams in the league just from through the first 5 weeks. So
Yeah, and
who knows?
we didn't have Gonzo, and we saw what it does when he's back. Like we didn't have
change the defense.
We were in the games, and then we see, like, if we had Gonzo in some of the other games, like, would he have made game-winning plays like he did? You know, we might have won those close games.
I do love that this team is always in games. Like, I love that.
Oh yeah,
you're not watching the first quarter and you're going, all right, well, this is just not going to happen today. I like that they're keeping you there, giving themselves a chance to win.
It's fun having it's finally good to have an offense that's fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's not completely inept like it has been.
It's great to have the Diggs spite game early too, because I feel like it was so important for the relationship with him and May. I feel like he might go on a little tear now because he's just pumped off.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's just pumped off beating his ex. He's like, let's go.
Yeah.
But like, he did seem more alive. It was almost like he needed to he got woke up, it felt like, last game.
Absolutely. And he handled it well. He was absolutely fired up, you could tell. Absolutely fired up. He was barely hiding the emotion, but he did handle everything with respect and, like a professional. So I'm glad he didn't go crazy overboard.
No.
But
I mean, I'm hearing rumors of 12-5 this year for the Pats.
I mean, listen,
looking at the upcoming schedule, and it's not crazy hard.
No.
The AFC schedule in general, like the Bills have an easier schedule than us coming up, so that's going to be interesting. But yeah, I mean, the upcoming stretch of games is at the Saints, at the Titans, the Browns and the Falcons come to Foxborough, at the Bucks, at the Jets. No, sorry, the Jets come here, at the Bengals, and then the Giants come here. I mean, realistically, that's 6-2. I think you're going against a lot of rookie quarterbacks or teams with no talent. And the two games that might be shootouts are the Falcons and the Bucks. Like that you could realistically drop those.
Don't we play the Ravens too? And I feel like that was one of the ones I'd circled as like one of the hard games. And that now, who knows?
I think that's coming after, because you play the Bills after the Giants at home, so that's going to be another tough game. And then I think the schedule tightens up a bit, and but by then we can have secured our playoff spot.
Yeah, that's true. And we might be,
or at least,
or fighting against a Ravens team that's given up, and we need to win, and they don't, because who knows what's going to happen with them this year? They might have to punt.
Yeah, they're like a team they're having the year from hell. Everybody's hurt for them, so yeah, they could drop out. And the Steelers keep winning, but I don't know. There's that division also stinks.
Yeah,
so,
just rare.
Who knows?
That was looking like that was looking like a tough division. It's because obviously you're supposed to have Joey.
Burrow being out hurts. The Browns are always going to be a trash fire. Yeah, and the Steelers there's a huge lack of talent there for the Steelers, and obviously Aaron Rodgers is older than dirt.
Not everyone's TB12. I honestly love that TB12 went so long and is so good, because now we're seeing, like, it's almost like LeBron versus other people of his age. It's like, oh my God, that guy was.
Yeah, not everybody can do this.
No, that guy was just something special.
Yeah, man, Pats hoping for a big win against the Saints this week. Spencer Rattler, dude. Steve, your favorite. Fantasy football review, Jacob. You beat Frankie, R.I.P. Frankie, 128-113. Laporta finally showed up, and you have Puka and Taylor. You have the two old boys.
Dude, Taylor's automatic 3 TDs right now. It's insane.
Yep, the Colts are weirdly good. I don't get it.
No, I don't.
I don't get. I mean, I know they have an okay line, but Daniel Jones, man.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the QBs are so confusing, because you just cannot trust that like if it's someone's only QB situation, or even two, like Baker, like it's just, people just get revived. Like you see with who's the guy in Seattle right now? I'm blanking on the name.
Darnold.
Yeah, Darnold. Same thing. Like these guys, like it's tough you can't give up on them, because someone like Daniel Jones can just find a new system and be like, okay, the Giants were actually the reason I sucked this whole time.
There's just something about it. I think the floor is going to drop out on the Colts. That doesn't mean Taylor's going to be bad. He's one of the best, if not the best running back in the league. So, I think Taylor's production will be fine. Puka's production is fine. I mean, barring an injury, you're going to be there at the end, I imagine. Yeah. So, I mean, Jacob's the juggernaut. I don't know who you're playing next week. You have the highest points total with 672. That checks out. But you lost twice, right?
Yeah, I just have had like 600 points against. Like I've had
Yeah.
some battles. We had a pretty high scoring game. Wasn't it like it was like 100?
Yeah, I'm like the team that's like fairly competitive. I'm like the Patriots. Well, how they used to be. I'll be competitive. I'll be there. It'll be close, but I'm gonna lose. um, just because of the talent disparity. But yeah, I lost to Shane, who had a great week. My brother. Congrats on the win, bro. Took that Bills loss pretty hard, but beat me in fantasy. My team is just injury devoid. Obviously, Lamb being gone for like 3 weeks sucks. But yeah, so my team's kind of in the basement. Steve, you lost to cousin Joe.
I mean, his 2
100.
fucking running backs had 50 points combined. Like, I was not going to win that fucking week. Like, that was.
Sometimes it's just not your week, man.
I mean, I was dead on with Waller and Joku having big weeks being at my tight end. They both had almost 19 points each. I mean, I should have started one of them at my flex, apparently. But starting 2 tight ends seems like a really bad fucking idea, so I don't know.
I mean, Waller's like, I was wrong. I was just wrong about him. Now, I didn't see Tyreek Hill getting hurt, right? But, Waller is just back.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. You were crazy how you nailed that.
Expert.
Like I said, a guy whose name I fucking knew. I was like, oh, I know that name. I don't know why I know that name. I know that name because of Kelsey Plum. So shout out to Kelsey Plum.
We like scared
Shouts
you
out.
too. We like scared you by saying he made music in his ear that he was having.
Yeah, I remember that. Like after you guys said it, and I was like, oh no. But I mean, who wouldn't go a little bit crazy after you lost Kelsey Plum, huh?
I think he also has substance abuse stuff in his past.
Well, so we got through that.
I believe he has. But yeah, him and Max Crosby too. When they were both on the Raiders.
They're fucking Steve's smart team. So
true that. And the Dolphins.
A week. I don't know. I thought I was playing well, and all of a sudden I looked. I was like, oh, you have a fucking 2% chance of winning. I was like, well, that's fucking sick.
It goes quickly. Yeah, man.
I mean,
fantasy,
pass, defense, special teams, is that like the best pickup ever?
They just took a whack right now because, I mean, I'd hold on to them just because they're playing easy teams.
Mm-hmm.
So the defense is going to be fine. Antonio Gibson tearing his ACL could actually be pretty bad for the special team. I mean, he was sneaky one of the best returners in the league. I don't get it, but, he was. And now he's gone.
Pick up that slack and score a couple tutties for me.
Marcus Jones might be the best punt returner in the league. Yeah, for sure.
That was wild. He's already had 2 punt returns for touchdowns this year.
Yep.
He
and he has a
tripped, and he was going to score on that one too.
And he's doing double shit. Like he made a pretty crucial pick against the Bills last week too. So, he's he's helping your team for sure.
I was so Patriots defense going into this year.
Yeah, we can stop the run. We got a decent unit. So love having a decent unit. Pause.
What's that?
Speaking of pause, the Nice Guys review. Jacob, your pick for a movie. 2016, directed by Shane Black. American neo-noir action comedy starring Ryan Gosling, Russell Crowe. Let's go. Angourie Rice, Matt Bomer, Margaret Qualley, and Keith David. Let's read the synopsis here. The film focuses on Private Eye Holland March and the tough enforcer. Holland March, Ryan Gosling, and tough enforcer for hire Jackson Healy, Russell Crowe, who team up to investigate the disappearance of a teenage girl, Margaret Qualley. And that's it, basically. But it's a comedy. It's a buddy comedy, right? I mean, I had a great time watching it. What do you guys think?
I really enjoyed that movie. They did an unbelievable job of bringing the 70s vibe in without really like most times when you get like a movie that's like a timepiece, it's like, all right, we're gonna play the music and that's what's gonna really get you in the mood. Like they didn't really do that until they got to the party at the end.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty cool. The visuals of it was unbelievable, like the views over Hollywood and everything like that. And I thought like Gosling did an unbelievable job. Like he really just carried that fucking movie, to be honest.
one of the best performances for comedy, at least in probably the best comedy performance in his career. Although he's really good at comedy.
The Barbie was really funny.
Barbie and all
yeah,
that.
I was gonna say he was funny in that. But dude, his physical comedy in this movie was so good. Like him, like every stunt he tried, him wincing. He like winced so much in the movie. He'd just like roll over a car after getting shot and be like while he's in cover. Like it just killed me every time. Like seeing, because you never see that. You never see like the action star being like actively in pain, like constantly through every scene. He just like react.
His whining.
Yeah.
His little like kitty whining. And he's just like Russell Crowe's like, give me your arm. He's like, no. It's just hilarious.
Oh, the end, he's like, "Oh, I think I'm invincible." I thought that was the fucking part.
The part that killed me was Russell Crowe tells a story about his buddy who was, it's an off-screen story about how his buddy almost died, but he saw Richard Nixon.
Yeah.
No, a guy died. He saw Richard Nixon right before he died. He's like, isn't that weird? And it's funny. Ryan Gosling's like, you can just say, there's perspective to an issue. There's multiple perspectives. Two people can have a different thought about the same thing. And it was funny. But when for the second time in the movie, Gosling takes a tumble over a balcony or whatever off a huge roof, and he thinks he's dead in the pool, and he sees Richard Nixon, and he's like swimming away. He sees like a Richard Nixon guy in a mask, and he's just like swimming away, like running away from that. I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, and when he's in the bathroom taking a dump, and Russell Crowe sees him for the first time since he broke his arm, he's just like, turn your head.
Door.
He's kicking the door. He's dropped the butt in his pants. He burned himself, and then he's just like, turn your head away. And Russell Crowe's like, there's a mirror right here, right? He's like, who cares? I thought Crowe did a pretty good job too as a straight man. I thought he was like, chonky Russell Crowe. Who doesn't love that?
He's fucking hilarious. I love when they don't make Russell Crowe like cover up his accent.
Yeah.
Right. He played an Irish. Well, he's what, Australian in real life?
Oh, maybe he did cover up his accent on that one. No, you're right.
He had like a Brooklyn accent.
He's fucking. I just think he's hilarious as like a straight man. Like I thought even like he's actually had a lot of funny parts in different movies, and like I think that's an underrated part of his acting skills. I thought that was really cool to see two guys that aren't usually known for comedies do like a buddy cop kind of thing,
and it worked
really well.
Tear the fucking roof off of it.
Yeah, like Russell's more like like you're saying, he's the straight man, so it's like he's not gonna have as many highlights, but you need him for Gosling to shine too. So yeah, it's just kind of hand in hand. Like, but he did have his own funny moments too, like both together, like the elevator scene when they like open the door and they're like see the guy that just got like assassinated, and then they just like start smashing the close button and go up. And then they just like awkwardly don't talk for the rest of the ride, just like looking at each other like, what are we getting ourselves to do?
And I think the criticism of the movie is fair enough. It's like a standard plot, neo-noir, like buddy cop film, but it's elevated by the performances of the two leads for sure, playing off each other very well. Shane Black, not a great director, in my opinion. He directed Predators, starring Adrian Brody. He directed Iron Man 3 too. So he's had a weird directing career, but I think he's a pretty solid comedy writer. And that's why I think it was a decent comedic script, and obviously it was elevated by the two guys. Really good film. Just a fun, vibey, good time watch through the 70s of LA.
Kim Basinger popping up in that fucking movie was kind of a jump scare. Forgot that you fucking existed.
Yeah, me too. I was just like, wow, I haven't heard that name in a grip.
I heard fucking character was probably like the worst one out of all of them.
Yeah, because it's so
acted well. I don't think that it was fleshed out well. I thought it was just like, oh, cool. Her assistant had more fucking had more lines than her.
Yeah, true. But I think it was just like somebody owed somebody a favor, and that's why she got the role.
Something like that.
It's pretty good. Margaret Qualley, who's a premiere actress now, it was like a bit role in this film. So I know it was filmed 2016 or before that, so she wasn't not a household name, but pretty decent cast overall. Keith David is a legend, obviously. So
the part when she got shot and she got killed at the end, It was kind of like that kind of like fit into the vibe of the movie, honestly. Where like it was always Ryan Gosling's character was always like, it's just nothing matters. The sun goes up, the sun goes down. Doesn't matter what you do. It's always going to be what it's going to be. And then her just getting shot, like just because she tried to get away and she just ran right to the killer. Like it fit right into the vibe of the movie.
It's like happy-go-lucky shit. It's like exactly that's the vibe. It's like all by the seat of your pants, happy-go-lucky, buddy, goofballs, irreverent. But yeah, great time. Breeze of a watch, even though it's 2 hours long.
Yeah, it actually moves pretty quick. Like there's always something going on to keep you engaged in that movie. Like sometimes you end up with these 2 hour long movies where it's like, what the fuck did I sit through for the last 15 minutes? Like that didn't need to happen. But this one, I felt like everything was there for a reason. Like,
yeah,
Gosling carried everything. Gosling fucking flinching every time that fucking like that Healy fucking like moved at him was fucking hilarious. Yeah. Like you would like go pull like a book and like 16 gonna break his fucking arm again.
Dad, why is he outside? No animals in the house, sweetie. Thought that was pretty good. Yeah. Great time. Steve, I believe it's your turn to pick a movie.
It is. I had a few movies in mind. I was shot down on Bad Times with the El Royale. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that one again myself because I haven't watched that in years and I think I liked it, but I don't remember. I was also thinking Tin Cup, Kevin Costner. I love that. That's a good movie, but it's not a lot you can break down with that movie. Sports movies is not a lot you can really break down with them for the most part. Like you're not gonna watch The Longest Yard and break down the cinematics of it like it's prisoners beating the shit out of each other and playing football. So I ended up with Casino Royale, the first Daniel Craig James Bond movies. I haven't watched those in forever. I didn't like them the first time I watched them. But knowing what they are, going back and watching them, I feel like I'll probably enjoy them more. Just when I watched them the first time, I was thinking James Bond, like the old school James Bond, like he never got shot, never got hurt, was always the badass, just, mowing down bad guys and being suave and funny. And seeing a grittier James Bond, I wasn't prepared for it the first time I watched it, and I'd like to go back and give it a rewatch and really dive deeper into it.
Yeah, because James Bond before that, although it switched a bit in the 90s with Brosnan, it was cartoony, right? Like it was like a guy, suave, jackets, liquor, bad at silenced guns, goofy, not goofy, but there is something to those older movies where it's a bit campy. Because Bond never gets his ass kicked, really. He's like judo chopping people in the throat and killing them, and to getting the girl at the end. This one, and it's exactly like you said, like Bond gets his spoiler alert for this movie, not really, but kind of. He gets his ass kicked in this film. And it's like gritty and it's hardcore, and Lashif is actually like a real good villain. So I'm excited for that. I will love to rewatch that. I think that's a great pick, Steve.
Yeah, I think I might watch. I saw it like on an airplane once, so and I think I was like in and out of sleep, so I'm definitely down for that too. I don't even think I have full watch of it, so that's appropriate.
Okay. Who's the bad guy in this one? Who plays him?
Mads Mikkelsen.
Mads Mikkelsen is this one. Okay.
Yeah, great villain. Lashif.
Like I've watched like bits and pieces of all of like the new James Bonds with Daniel Craig, so they kind of all start blending together a little bit on me. So it'll be interesting for me to go back and actually like pay attention to what's going on.
Okay. All right. That's a great pick. So Casino Royale, for those out there, we will be watching it. Gentlemen, I got to run. Sorry if you could tell I'm hustling us along here. But this has been the Banner Report. Thank you for doing this. Casino Royale's the movie. We'll see you next week. Go Pats, go C's, go Bees. NHL season kicked off.
Go Blue Jays.
And the Red Sox. Good season. Go Blue Jays. Let's get those Yankers out of there. But yeah, this has been the Banner Report.
Feel better, JT. Feel better, JB. Love you guys.
Peace.
Love you guys. Bye.